The following interview was recorded live during the Technology and Curriculum Conference of Aldine. To find out more, visit their website, tccaconference.com. We're just going to let you introduce yourself and tell us, who you are, where you're from, what you do, all that good stuff.
Okay. I am Yvonnel Lopez. I am an art teacher here in Aldine. And we were just talking over there with the iTech Nation folks about our new show that we're going to do.
Oh, cool.
And it's 9 art teachers, 2 intermediate, well, 6, I don't remember how many it was, but 2 intermediate and 4 elementary art teachers. And we're going to do 30-minute little webcasts and live shows of our lessons and how we integrate all the content that's not just art, but our literature and math and science and everything else incorporated into our lessons.
That is awesome.
That's
that
really
is very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And so, you're doing that as part of the iNation package,
yeah,
or
it's part
it's
of-
your own thing?
Well, it's we're working with them.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We have an awesome director, Dr. Michael and Kelly, who is really great about advocating for our program and the arts and for us. And
Yeah.
so it's an awesome opportunity for us to
That's really cool.
talk about our students' work, talk about ourselves
Yeah.
and what we're doing with the kids, and showing other teachers that there's more to art than just painting and drawing, that
Right.
we're incorporating so much more into our lessons.
Cool.
That is
So
very cool.
along the art line, what do you guys technology-wise? I know you do, traditional, analog art. What digital art do you guys do a lot
Well,
of?
I actually, teaching is my second career. I come from a graphic design and advertising background.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
And so I try to incorporate as much of those elements into my lessons, or in just a teachable moment, everyday kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the kids have seen my portfolio, they've seen my work. We talk about how everything in the room has been designed by someone, or and
Yes.
that it started with a drawing, and show them how you take your drawing and make it digital, or like we use the Promethean boards and we do our anchor charts on there.
Uh-huh.
So the kids are interacting with it. I try to get as much technology as I can in my room, but it's like I have 2 iPads and 1,000 students, but we make it work. We try to make it work. And then I started using Flipgrid for art criticism.
Yep.
I do this thing called Burger Talk. And
Yeah.
so it's tell me something you like about my artwork, a suggestion I have for you, and something else I like about your work.
Awesome.
And so that's our little Burger Talk. So they're doing that about each other's work and like famous artists and designers.
Yeah.
And they get to see their their buddies, or that's so and so.
Yeah.
But I think that, so they're having their own conversations on there, and that's whenever they ask, like, can we do Burger Talk? Can we record ourselves? And
That's awesome.
That's very cool. So, with the Burger Talks, as the students on the, lack of a better word, on the receiving side of that, how are they taking that? I mean, I love the fact that you start with something positive, then you have a suggestion, and then you end with something positive. So, how is that received by the students? If I've turned something in and you're critiquing my work, and so how would the recipient, how's that going as far as that goes?
they love it. They love talking about themselves. I teach elementary, so anytime they get a chance to just talk, they love it. And too, at the beginning of the year, it starts off with, I like your color, or I think you should add more color, and it's only about color or something. By the end of the year, the vocabulary has built. They've learned new vocabulary. They can express themselves better. They start talking about the content that they've learned. I like the lines that you use here, and I can see the curves, or I like that you use this color theory. It's a warm color, blah, blah,
Yep.
And so it's just great to see that growth.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was just going to say. It's amazing when you take students and you can see that learning.
Oh, yeah.
And you have, in your case, using Flipgrid,
So there's
you
evidence.
actually have the concrete evidence showing, this student was originally talking about color, and now they're talking about line, and I don't know what
The
other
feeling,
vocabulary
how it
is.
makes them
Yes,
feel,
exactly.
And the composition,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
comparing it to other artists, and that's another thing that you do. You do in math, you do in science, compare and contrast, and we do it all the time in art. It's just not labeled as that.
That's
Right.
exactly right.
Well, and I love the fact that you're coming from the actual graphic design, business side of this, so that when a student's like, when am I ever going to use this? What do I have to know? Why do I have to know this? What am I going to use this for? What's this for? You've got the experience. You go, oh, well, when I was doing this, this is what we did. Or like you said, you look around the room and this was designed by somebody, and this, this had to be drawn out, and this had to be painted, and this had to be mocked up. And I mean, it's.
And then there's some days I'm like, oh, we're going to play ad agency today. I'm your creative director. You're the art directors. You're the designers. And this is how it worked when I worked, and I would take something in my my creative director, and they're like, try it this way.
Right.
And I'm like, so I was in those shoes too, guys.
Yeah.
And then too, just showing them, actually my session is about makerspace, but I'm using it more to introduce art careers to my kiddos, because I didn't know that I could go to art school till I got to high school.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was an option, or I didn't know that I could be a graphic designer. Well, I double major graphic design and printmaking. And so I did the both, traditional and the new.
Sure.
And then merging the two, and I want to teach them that they can do that.
Yeah.
And I've done lessons where we talked about brand identity, so they create their own little. When I taught kinder, we did it in kinder too.
Yeah.
Because I was a classroom teacher, and so the stuff they came up with was amazing just in kindergarten. So it's just seeing, I want to build that foundation, so when they get, higher up, they're like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, branding, that's it now.
Oh yeah.
And that's all about getting into post-secondary, anything you're going to do after high school.
Oh yeah.
Brand yourself. Get ready for the real world or college or whatever you're going to do.
And then, with them, I start with them with the portfolio. We have to have a portfolio. And so we take pictures of them and I show them how to upload it, and we're building, we have the online presence, and so I'm showing them, like, you can do your own, and this is mine. Like, you have your own website, Miss Lopez?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yes, guys,
yes.
like, so can you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that is
our
awesome.
session today is write it, read it, and record it.
Oh, okay.
And so,
Awesome.
we've been doing podcasting for a long time, and that's a big deal. And so you're already doing it with Flipgrid, and there's the beauty of it. You take all of that, you put it together, and you share it, because think about how many kids your kids will touch. I mean, as we all went through high school, we had that one person like, I'm going to be like this person.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's my superstar. And that nowadays, that superstar might be 1,000 miles away, and I see them on video. One of those deals.
Well,
So-
and that's the beauty about, like, social media too, is that these, the people that the kids look up to, that we look up to, we feel like we know them because we see their Snap stories, we see them on Instagram,
and that's the cool thing. It might be an 11th grader that's going to school in Washington that I become friends with over social media, and I follow their life and they follow my life, and I go, wow, that's the art or the music or the writing that I want to do, and that's.
Or same with, I keep in contact with my professors for where I went to college in Milwaukee, and I sent them the picture or the link to our Flipgrid of them talking about typography, and I'm like, you guys are the ones that got me passionate about typography, and now I'm showing my kiddos, and now they're talking, they're only 8-9 years old, and they're talking about letter forms and the importance of branding.
My daughter's that way. She'll go, oh, that's a beautiful font. I love that font. That font is, and I'm like, wow, how do you know all these? She's like, yeah, the curvature of the back of the R is different than this one. Yeah. It's art. It truly is.
And I think it's very cool that you're able to share that with your professors who taught you, and they're professors, so they generally aren't going to be dealing with 8th graders. And now all of a sudden, really, their eyes are open to go, wait a minute, this is what the 8th graders are learning? I'm going to have to step up my game, because those students, and I realize not every student's going to be, as fortunate, your students are, truly benefiting from all of this, but they have to be aware that, holy cow, I'm going to have to step up my game, because when these students come in, they already know the first half of the semester that I was going to teach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're already that far ahead. I need to make sure that I step up and can meet their needs and teach them the stuff they need to know for the next level, for the next series. So
And
that's
the thing
awesome.
with technology, that it's always changing, something's always up and coming, and you have to keep up. Or I go back to my college in the summer and do classes there, and I see the work that the freshmen are producing, and I'm like, I didn't even learn any of that when I was here. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Or
That
just
is
how
awesome.
far behind you can get if you don't keep up.
Oh, no, that's true too. That is definitely the other side of that. Is all of a sudden you realize, whoa, things have changed, and I didn't realize I was sitting still until it blew by me.
Oh yeah, like I am constantly on Twitter and on blogs and looking at design trends, because it's trends. There's trends everywhere, and seeing I keep up with what's going on in technology and trends so that I know what is going to interest my kiddos too.
Sure.
Yep.
Because if they're bored, I'm bored. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly the truth.
That is very cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, we don't want to keep all your time, but thanks for coming. Can I get a
Thank
picture?
you.
Do you
Yeah.
mind? Awesome. Let me turn it on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Social media. What's your Twitter handle?
Miss Lopez, MSLOWPAZ.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
stopping by.
Have a great conference.
You too.
I love her backpack, man.
I know that's a great backpack. So she was prepared for.
We would like to thank our guests for joining us for this interview. If you would like to hear more EduTech Guys, check out our podcast on iTunes.